Hello, I'm Seth, and behind the camera is Tobias. We're from Nelson Tiny Houses, and today we're extremely excited to share with you our longest V house. It's on a 38-foot gooseneck trailer. It's probably 9 feet wide, 9 and a bit maybe. And we brought it way up into the middle of nowhere. It's in a really epic location. It's off-grid. There's a bunch of solar panels, and there's some propane generation, and there's also a big generator for backup. And we usually try to convince clients not to put a wood stove in their houses, but in this case it was a no-brainer to put a wood stove. We're in the middle of nowhere, and there's a lot of wood, and it's also a fairly big house. Yeah, it was quite the adventure to get it up here. We hired a semi to haul the house, and then at some point we got stuck on this very steep road and needed to get a tractor to pull the semi, and it was good excitement. But we made it here, and now it sits just perfectly. And the client's been in there a few months. She seems to love it. She's nice and cozy, and yeah, let's go have a look inside. Just this way. So for this house, we decided to go with the board-and-batten style. The client liked it. She also picked this nice dark blue, Arctic blue I think it's called. For board-and-batten, we usually try to use hardy as the boards, and then a manufactured wood for the batten, and we do that just because it's so stable, and if you want to paint it, it won't shrink and grow and leave you with big gaps. It's just a great sealed system, and it looks good as well. Kind of looks like wood. There's a lot of real wood on the inside, so don't worry about that. There is real wood. The roof on these V houses, we build them in sections at the shop, and then when we take them off to transport the house, and then it takes us like a half a day to put it all back together. And that way we can build a much bigger house, because you can imagine with all this overhang it would be way too wide and tall for highway. It also, I can't imagine building a house without that nice big overhang. To me they kind of look funny, although you do see them. Yeah, it really finishes the house having big overhang, I think, and protects the house. Yeah, and obviously this deck was all on-site work. It adds quite a bit to the living space, especially in the summertime. I think our plan is to make this covered as well. Yeah, let's go have a look inside. One other request the client had was to have actually French style doors, like 2 doors. And we've had troubles in the past where we move the house and the doors don't line up perfectly, and it's hard to, they're just a little more finicky. So we thought the next best thing would be to give her a really wide door with a side light next to it. And this seems to work well. It is super cozy in this house, mostly because of this little Hobbit wood stove. I don't know a lot about these stoves, but she seems to be really happy with it. It does have a fresh air intake, and in my opinion that's probably the most important thing in a wood stove in a tiny space. Yeah, you have to feed it little pieces often, but she's here and she has a lot of wood, so it's a perfect heat source for this situation. And also the house is big enough. The bedroom is at the opposite end, so it doesn't get too hot. This is the living room. It transforms into the dining room, and also the table where she does a lot of her work. She had all these custom cushions made, and we did everything else. Maybe I'll show you where the table is hiding. We used bamboo for the table. It's a really stable product. It has to come from far away, unfortunately, but it looks really good. And unlike plywood, it's got like a really nice finished edge. And it's extremely durable. So that's what it would look like if it was just one person, or if it was two people even, I guess. The other option, it's quite a simple system. It's just a cable, like a little leash for the table. It's got a little penny for a washer, and it just goes in this little groove here. And now you can easily fit 4 people, maybe even 6 people. I don't know. Oh, and then if you reconfigure the boxes differently, this also turns into a bed. So this is how it goes from a table that sits 4 to 6 people to a bed. Voila! So next we'll show you the loft in this house. It's a spare bedroom. She doesn't use it very often. It also is a good spot for her plants, and looks like she's got some movies up there. We did a new design for this loft. It's super simple. The ladder doesn't go any more out of the way than this. In a way it's nice because it kind of divides the space visually from the kitchen to the living room. I think it works really well. There's still lots of area to walk. And then when you want to go up it, you can slide it over and then slide it out. And it just catches at the top of these kind of oval shaped brackets. Yeah, we're super happy with that design. It's almost like everything we try to design, it's the simplest thing we could think of. And those always seem to feel the best and work the best. So now you're looking at the kitchen. It's a bigger kitchen than a lot of kitchens I've seen in like apartment buildings. It's got absolutely everything in it that a person might want, I think. Underneath this counter is one of those washer-dryer combo units. And next to it, full-size oven, tons of IKEA drawers, and more upper cupboards here and here, full-size fridge, toaster oven, and up above here is this little sexy looking unit is the head for the heat pump. She was using that, but now she's got the wood stove to keep her warm. She might need it in the summer, but we're pretty high up, so I doubt she'll need it very often. On this side, it's a full sink. Again, I think it's IKEA. IKEA's got some pretty sweet stuff for tiny spaces. Lots of storage, and then a giant pantry storage here with drawers inside of it. More drawers below. Yeah, pretty spectacular kitchen, I must say. I think it's got more storage than my kitchen at home. And it's really, yeah, very effective, I think. The only thing I didn't show you was this full-size closet here. It's kind of a jacket broom closet with open storage above it. So behind me is the bathroom, and we built 2 matching doors on either side of it, and they match the doors for the pantry there and then the closet back here. Here you can see better on this one the track system that we had made. Kind of resembles like an old-fashioned sliding door, but these are actually just clothesline wheels. Pretty simple system that looks pretty awesome. She has a septic on site, so it just has a flush toilet. And she, like, one of the first things that she talked about was how much she wanted a really big bathtub. So she got it. It's a pretty awesome view from the bath. She said last night that the full moon was pouring through the window. She picked the tiles. Probably not my first pick, but actually in the end I think they're kind of awesome. Yeah, she actually picked a lot of stuff, and I gotta give her credit because I think it's all pretty cool. And I feel like our taste or our touches and her touches like came together really well. She picked these tiles out that actually look a bit like weathered wood. They kind of match the spindles that we found for her, like that distressed look. Underneath these stairs we did some really basic drawers that just slide out. They're not on tracks, but they work well. As you walk up these stairs, you're kind of walking up to the second level of the gooseneck trailer. This was all designed around this specific trailer. So this is her main sleeping area. It's pretty much just a bed up here, but then there's a full closet here that also has the on-demand propane water heater in it, but there's still lots of room in there. And then there's another little cute upper closet. And it's a small space, but there's actually 4 relatively large windows, 3 of which open, so there's a lot of cross ventilation up here. And I think it stays pretty cool up here. The wood stove is at the other end, and there's a couple doors that she can close to separate it. So yeah, I think it's a pretty ideal little bedroom, and I think she's pretty happy here. I know I would be. Thanks for watching this tour. It has been, like most houses, a complete pleasure to build, and I'd like to thank the client. She just was really wonderful to work with, and she let us come and make this video even after she was living here. It's kind of nice to see a house when it's being lived in, and yeah, just see how cozy the space is. Keep your eye out for more Nelson tiny house videos in the near future. Ciao.